Mirage is a multiplayer combat video game.
That takes a while to learn, takes a while to get good at.
But we're a multiplayer, competitive, what we like to call a first-person slasher.
A Persian-influenced gore fest.
That blends melee combat with magic combat, so sword fighting and magic. You're blasting people with magic, you're stabbing them in the face with swords, and it's just complete chaos online multiplayer.
It still comes from the chivalry DNA of screaming into battle, smashing heads.
That's kind of our brand now, is gore and massive amounts of screaming.
I will have your heads!
Mirage really expands on the brutality of chivalry. The magic sort of allows us to do things we never could in just a physical game before, so we can really knock people up into the air.
And have the whole character just evaporate into thin air.
Impale them with things.
Just leave a pair of legs falling to the ground.
So the amount of gore that you'll actually get in any given moment is based specifically on the amount of damage you're dealing, the direction it's going, what attacks being applied.
The blood splattering on the world kind of allows you to tell the story of a combat encounter that's just happened.
Your health is based on how bloody you get. So if you see a guy that's just drenched in blood, you know he's been messed up in the battle.
At the end of that, you really want some payoff because it can be sort of an emotional engagement. So the gore is a way for us to deliver on that and sort of the satisfaction of defeating an opponent. Even if you're not doing very well, it's still really satisfying, the occasional kills that you do get.
And you know, if the first time you jump into the game you get destroyed, we also want something to pull you back. And so we use the gore a lot of the time to do that, where if you get that one kill out of your 10 lives, and that one kill is the most satisfying moment you've ever had, you know, that's what we're looking for. We basically want the game to be a giant stress ball for people to kind of relieve the frustrations of daily life.
We wanted to create this huge contrast between the beauty that you see in this calm world that you're in, and then all of a sudden, oh my God, everything is covered in blood.
We've given our players very unique and dynamic magical abilities.
To leap into the air and then slam down and then smash 3 people and they all go flying. You know, there's limbs flying all across the room. In that moment, we want the player to feel invincible.
Physics in Mirage are really important for adding a sense of weight to all the combat. So when you hit someone, it's not like their body just limply falls down. You'll know the strength of that hit that you just knocked them with, and their body will go flying across the room.
That adds a lot of humor to the game because physics just naturally creates some element of hilarity.
They're also core to nailing sort of the comedy of gore, which is fundamental to the DNA of Torn Banner Studio and the satisfaction of it as well.
I managed to lob someone right across the midsection.
It's now used like a bulldozer to just knock all these them over the cliff. And of course, you get this long falling scream, which is one of my favorite sounds in the game.
It's a whole lot of violence and death and destruction. And that's a huge part of the game because we want players to feel rewarded for the action that's going on here. And we also want it to look like a total mess when you're done with each other.
We want to make a hardcore game.
This world is going to be covered in blood and gore from all the crazy combat scenarios you'll find yourself in.